NickMom is making motherhood mother.
NickMom. It's essentially Nick and Knight's MTV2, just bad. And sure, I wasn't the target demographic. It's literally called NickMom, not Nick Introvert, but I digress. The target audience, primarily mothers ages 18 to 49, were not fans of the block either. As a matter of fact, some were angry about it. From suggestive dialogue to scheduling controversies to groups on Facebook boycotting for its cancellation, NickMom was already doomed from the start. And just 3 days shy from its 3rd anniversary on September 28th, 2015, NickMom would quietly cease operations with no final farewell, mention, or acknowledgement of its existence ever since. So I thought tonight I'd go through the short history of NickMom, Nick Jr.'s failed adult programming block. But before I begin, I would like to take a minute and thanking my first ever sponsor, Atlas VPN. Right now, Atlas VPN is running a huge discount. It means you can get a 3-year subscription for just $1.99 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee by using the link in the description. If you don't know what a VPN is, let me explain. A VPN, or a virtual private network, is a tool that helps you put all your internet traffic through an encrypted tunnel. That way, it protects your data and sensitive information from hackers and other malicious malware by changing your location and IP address. And with Atlas VPN's friendly UI, it's easier than ever to stay protected and surf the international web. By using Atlas VPN, you can get access to region-locked content. By changing your location, say for example the UK, you can watch the entire Netflix UK catalog. Right now I'm using Atlas to watch Studio Ghibli films on Netflix. If you're still not convinced, Atlas VPN can help you save money on travel. Turning on the VPN can alter prices on airlines and hotels that often drop to a lower price based on where you're set, which because of it, I'm able to travel more often. Atlas VPN is available on Windows, Apple, iOS, and Android, and by using the link in the description, you can get a 3-year subscription for just $1.99 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. This offer is only available for a limited time, so try it out while you can. Thank you so much to Atlas VPN for sponsoring this video. Now, let's begin. Nick Jr. is a channel aimed for children under the ages of 6 that was launched on September 28, 2009, as all Nickelodeon sister channels were rebranded to a more simplistic look. Formerly called Noggin, Nick Jr. became Nickelodeon's 24-hour preschool channel and would remain like that until 2012, where it was announced by Viacom in October of 2011 that Nickelodeon will be creating a prime-time programming block for Nick Jr. aimed at mothers as part of the company's cradle-to-grave strategy, which is essentially a tactic by media giants to have their viewers grow up with their network-owned channels. So basically, Nick Jr. to Nickelodeon to Teen Nick to MTV to TV Land. You see where I'm going at. Well, Viacom was trying to tap into every market, and that's exactly what they did with creating NickMom. Former president of Nickelodeon, Saima Zargami, explained, "Today's moms who grew up with Nickelodeon have a renewed relationship with us through their kids, and now we have something for them as adults in NickMom. This generation of moms is very different than anyone before it, and we are very excited to offer a destination that is unique in today's entertainment landscape with content that taps into Nickelodeon's comedic DNA." At first glance, this sounded interesting, as quite a few news outlets reported the announcement, and it seemed like Viacom and Nickelodeon were willing to make it work, as it was reported that more than 30 original projects were planned for development and designed for the block. On October 1st, 2012, NickMom launched as a block that aired 7 days a week between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., a time where most preschoolers would be asleep and where moms and parents are normally up watching late night television. NickMom would start off strong with their inaugural broadcast being all original programming such as Mom's Friends Forever, Parental Discretion with Stephanie Wilder-Taylor, What Was Carol Brady Thinking, NickMom Night Out, and their highest rated program on the block, Instant Mom. That accomplishment does not really speak volume. Trust me, it did not become the next Full House. 2 more original shows would later be added to the block, such as Take Me to Your Mother and Undercover Cupid. All the shows fell under the comedy genre, something the block focused primarily on throughout its run, with their slogan even being Mother Funny. Oh, it's supposed to sound like motherfuck. However, the original programming wasn't enough to save the block during its initial launch, and soon after, momentum for NickMom dwindled instantaneously. Things would quickly go bad to worse. Less than 2 weeks after launching, it was reported by the Wall Street Journal that ratings for NickMom's debut averaged only 131,000 viewers, a 74% decline from the same time slot a year ago. This would be a devastating blow for the future of NickMom and would start its slow death. What made it worse were the controversies surrounding it, such as the scheduling controversy. If you grew up with cable or still have it like myself, you notice that some channels have an east feed and a west feed. These are known as time shift channels, which serve to air a time delayed run of the main channel's programming, that being the east feed. Well, Nick Jr. initially operated with a single feed that airs on the default Eastern time zone, which, since NickMom starts at 10, if you lived on the west coast, that would mean NickMom would start at 7, and if you live as far as Hawaii, it would start at 4 p.m. This issue would be fixed by launching a Pacific time zone based feed in February of 2013, but the damage was already done. Many parents vented their frustration online about their children accidentally watching NickMom and saying inappropriate language from their raunchy lineup. This started campaigns, petitions, websites. I'm probably making this sound worse than it actually is, but it really wasn't that big a deal. But with the negative reception and a small fan base, it wouldn't take long until NickMom began cutting costs. Shows would get cancelled after just 1 or 2 seasons. With already a low audience, these shows didn't capture enough ratings to calculate a score on Rotten Tomatoes, essentially becoming forgotten by the public. And as earlier mentioned, it was said that 30 original projects were planned for development specifically for NickMom, with only 7 programs throughout NickMom's lifespan. Perhaps there are over 23 cancelled ideas for original programming, as the network didn't want to fund the block knowing that it was going to go down under. NickMom's highest rated show, Instant Mom, would actually last 3 seasons and outlast NickMom by just 2 months as it was moved to TV land, which is, kind of poetic if you think about it. It's like a custody joke. I'm gonna stop. By mid-2014, NickMom was basically a plane on autopilot waiting until it ran out of fuel, and became a block of syndicated shows such as Parenthood 2010, The New Adventures of Old Christine, That 70s Show, and an occasional movie. They aired B-Movie on NickMom in 2015. I think that's the only redeeming factor of it. On September 9th, 2015, it was announced on their Twitter page that NickMom would be going off the air at the end of the month. And on September 28th, 2015, lasting a little under 3 years, NickMom's last ever program was a movie, the 1994 movie Guarding Tess. Once it was over, it quietly switched back to Nick Jr. programming without any send-off. And no one gave a shit. What'd you expect, a bouquet of roses? A lot of people did not like this, and I know I'm not the target demo, but the main demo also said the same thing. Not only was the raunchy humor of sex, genitalia, and drinking not funny to the moms watching the program, but they were also concerned that this was airing on a preschooler's channel. I can't imagine why someone thought this was a good idea. I get that Cartoon Network and Adult Swim do the same thing, but the age demographics are closer to each other, whereas Nick Jr. and NickMom have a huge gap. It's like if PBS Kids after it signs off is HBO after dark. The idea was just stupid. This is where the short history of NickMom ends. The block remains as something Nickelodeon and Nick Jr. wish you forget, and despite a strong start, NickMom was already dead on arrival. I thoroughly remember it getting announced and launching, but never watched it. I think launching on the same day as Cartoon Network's 20th anniversary didn't do it any favors either. Then again, I can't imagine anyone wanting to watch NickMom anyways. I wanted to make this video to at least shed some light on this obscure block, and perhaps start a conversation of lost media regarding it. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe, and go check me out on Patreon and Twitter if you want to support me. My name is Luis, and I am out.